Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Of course, my name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to another MINIMATES 2-pack review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the X-Men Days of Future Past 2-pack for Professor X and Future Magneto. Once again, this review is provided by Diamond Select Toys, and of course you can visit diamondselecttoys.com and you will receive lots and lots of cool information, details on MINIMATES and many of the other products that they offer. Of course, right on the back of the packaging, we have the entire lineup of the MINIMATES for the Days of Future Past tie-in, so to speak. And of course, we've got Bone Claw Wolverine and Charles Xavier representing the past. Additionally to that, we got young Magneto and Mystique also representing the past. I've taken a look at this set, really falling in love with the Mystique figure. It's super duper cool, really neat, and of course Magneto is just absolutely spectacular. It's just an awesome MINIMATE indeed. With that in mind, of course, we also have Future Wolverine and Future Storm. I really love the way that Wolverine looks. He looks quite sweet indeed. And of course, today we're actually going to be taking a look at the set of Future Magneto and Professor X. We also have a little bit of a bio right down at the bottom here for each one of the characters in the pack, so let's go ahead and fly through that real quick. Professor X, in the year 2023, Charles Xavier lives in hiding with his fellow X-Men, which, by the way, that's only 8 years away, with his fellow X-Men, orchestrating the mutant resistance to a mutant and human eradicating army of robotic sentinels. He uses a one-of-a-kind hover chair, which actually comes included in the package, so that's absolutely awesome. I can't wait to check out that accessory. And then, of course, the Future Magneto bio reads, in hiding, the Eric Lancher, I don't know how to pronounce that, of 2023 lives among the X-Men he once fought, using his magnetic powers to battle the Sentinels who have purged all human and mutant life from the globe. Which sounds like a pretty dark and menacing storyline, but that really was the story of Days of Future Past, which, if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. It's a really great film. With that in mind, of course, let's go on ahead and get these guys out of packaging and take a look at the two, hopefully lovely, MINIMATES inside. Alrighty guys, so I have got the 2-pack out of packaging, and it's pretty cool. It's definitely not the strongest of MINIMATES 2-packs that I have gotten so far, but at the same time it does have some pretty neat A, characters, and B, accessories, which is really cool. So why don't we go ahead and actually discuss one figure at a time. So we will begin with Mr. Magneto, or of course, Future Magneto. With that in mind, of course, as you can see, he obviously looks like he has certainly aged. I really like the draping cape. Like, I really love how that is done. It gives him a very menacing look. The only thing that is negative about the cape is the fact that it limits and hinders his entire articulation far too much. Basically, this left arm is quite frankly useless. Like, you could move it out like this, but I mean, it just looks awkward, so you might as well keep it hidden there. And then the other thing is that he gets this little, like, draping kind of a skirt piece. Not skirt, but you know what I mean. Like this little extra, almost like a cape for his feet, I guess. As well, which also limits his articulation on the legs in terms of movement backwards, which is a bit unfortunate. But the cool thing is that it still gives him a very menacing pose. So he definitely looks like, just even moving one arm definitely gives Magneto a very menacing and powerful presence. And that's something that I think is very important with Magneto. To be honest, when we think of Future Magneto, if you watch the film, you can see he wasn't a particularly athletic or mobile or agile young man, let's put it that way, or old man, I should say, but he kind of, like, you know, he almost like he's so powerful that he can't bother to, like, you know, be in very dynamic poses. He just kind of like raises one of his arms and he's like, "Woof, get over here," and then he just destroys it, you know? Or in this case, he helps the mutants fight against the Sentinels, but still, The fact is, it still works as Magneto, so even though I do have a complaint about displayability, and that's really my biggest issue with this set, is the articulation, because of course you've got Professor Xavier who's supposed to be in a wheelchair, so you're not going to really pose him per se, just because, well, his legs are supposed to be immobile, so obviously you have to work around that, which gets a bit tricky, but Magneto, I was hoping, would be able to be articulated quite well. Now, of course, you can always work around this stuff because, as always, it's not like it's all basically like one static design. You can always just go ahead and remove these parts, put this back on, and there you go. And you could have Magneto now free as any Minimate can be. Of course, his arms are now completely free, his elbows bend, there's a swivel right there at the wrist, waist works, legs articulated perfectly, forwards, backwards, bend at the knee, swivel on the actual ankle there. So lots of articulation is still present, so that's really great because you can definitely get him into those poses. It's just a matter of working around the two accessories that he comes with, which are the cape, or the big cape, and then of course the little cape right down here. One thing that I was a little bit surprised by the fact that wasn't here, of course, as always, by the way, I forgot to mention, we have the stand that we always get, which I love. I really hope that they always continue to do that because it's really awesome to get a little stand with all the figures that I get from Minimates. But one thing that I was a bit disappointed by is the fact that he didn't come with one of these. This is the helmet from the young Magneto. I really wish they would have given us a helmet instead of, honestly, I think I would have been willing to sacrifice this piece and instead get a helmet so that I could have a helmeted version of Magneto. I know that in the film he didn't helmet, or at least I don't remember that he did, but it would be cool to just have that available to us as well. Like, it's just neat to have the ability to display him differently. Of course, the purple helmet doesn't fit really well because of the colors, but you can still use it, so that's the nice thing, is that as always, mix and matching is completely fine within any and all Minimates, which is awesome. Alrighty, and next up, let's move on to, of course, the Professor Xavier, or Professor X, I should say, minifigure or Minimate. Of course, first and foremost, let's go ahead and address the big elephant in the room, or in this case, the big chair in the room, because this is probably the reason why we didn't get that Magneto helmet, because, well, we got two really expensive accessories in the form of a cape, but we also get this really cool, one-of-a-kind hovering chair, or at least it's supposed to be hovering. Of course, as you can see, they have the translucent little piece right here to mimic the idea that it's actually a hovering chair, so that you could recreate little poses and scenarios and battle scenes and stuff in that regard. Of course, the minifigure for Professor Xavier himself is quite nice. All the basic articulation for a Minimate, none of it is obstructed, which is awesome, so that means you can get him in some really cool and lovely poses. Now, of course, typically speaking, at this point, Xavier's legs don't work, so you have to work around that, but the lovely thing is that they did still provide you all the articulation on the legs and such, so you could still, I don't know, what if there's a cure or something has come out, so that you could still get Xavier into some really cool and dynamic poses, which is really, really sweet. Speaking of which, if you don't like him hovering or using his chair, you also have the additional stand, so you get two stands still, so that's really nice. They actually did not skimp out on that. That would have been an easy thing to just say, hey, let's not give the actual stand in there, so that's quite cool. I'm definitely happy about that. I really like actually the design for Xavier. I like his outfit and everything. I like the biker jacket-like look, and because of that, I really think I might actually end up picking up one or two more of these sets to just replace and then put on different characters, because I just really like the outfit. It's just super cool. You got this like leathery like look, and then the jacket right here with the little straps coming across. There is no print work on the back behind the jacket. It's actually a separate piece, as you can see, but it doesn't obstruct any of the articulation, so that's really nice, as you can see right there. But still a really cool design. I like how they kept very, very important details different, like the eyebrows being white, whereas like on Eric you could see they're black, and the eyes being blue, whereas these ones are dark. That's cool. That's the kind of attention to detail that I absolutely love when they pay attention to it. So with all of that in mind, what do I think of the set as a whole? I have to say that I am definitely a bit disappointed in some departments like articulation and such, but these are two very, very, very iconic characters, and more importantly, these aren't the kinds of characters that I would be so concerned about being highly articulated. Like, for example, if we got a Spider-Man figure that couldn't articulate, that's an issue, because Spider-Man is supposed to be agile and mobile and very athletic and, you know, just jumping around and being super dynamic. Whereas characters like both Professor Xavier and Magneto, they're a lot more brooding and menacing, and they're a lot of their stature and a lot of their personality comes through just the way that they speak, the mannerisms with which they speak and stuff like that. So to me, that's not as big of a concern as I maybe made it to be, but I really love the designs. I think they look sweet. I love the attention to detail, such as the eyes and everything that I pointed out before. That's really cool. Still really wish that we could have been able to get a Magneto helmet. That would have been absolutely awesome, but all in all, it's still a really cool set and two very, very iconic characters to add to your Minimates lineup. So with all that in mind, of course, thank you guys so very much for watching this Minimates review. If you guys enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit that like button, share the video with your family and your friends, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you guys will check out the next Minimates review, which is going to be Future Storm and Future Wolverine. That's going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait to check that set out. Thanks all for watching, guys, and I will indeed see you folks later, alligators. Bye-bye, guys.